Hello, this is Roberto and this is the HVAC is my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Wright D one-story home part 9. Alright, so pretty much what we're going to be doing in this video is sizing the return grill. So everything is going to be about duct sizing, but specifically return grill sizing. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, so to begin with, what is Wright D? So in the previous videos, we have been talking about Wright J. So Wright J is pretty much heat load calculation, but what is it Wright D? So manual D is the standard from ACCA to size ducts based on velocity. As you remember in the previous video, we had this velocity to size ducts. For example, we're going to be talking about, we talked about trunks and branches. So we say 600 FPM to, recommended is 600 FPM for flex and then 700 maximum. For the return is going to be the same, like for example for trunk 600, 700, 400, 700. There we go. But now what we're doing for Wright D is the following. So Wright D is actually the name for Wrightsoft. So if you go here, we're going to go here into options. We're going to go to toolbars. What is specifically Wright D? So let's uncheck this. What happens? This disappears. So when we click this appears, right? So pretty much these tools are Wright D and they're related to what? So let's go here and this is going to show me the velocity and everything else for the supply branches. And what is the other one? The other ones are going to show me the trunks and return branches. Okay, so in here we're going to be able to see the velocity. So when we're sizing ducts, we have two options. There is a way that says it's the equal friction method and the other one is the velocity. So in this case, we're going to take into account the velocity. Which velocity though? This is the velocity that we're taking into account based on manual D ACCA standards. Okay. So now that we know that, and what is Wright D? Wright D are these four components, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what was this? This was the coil loss external static pressure, but pretty much is the available static pressure. So how much pressure we have remaining in the critical path, and this is going to be my equivalent or total effective length. Okay, based on that, we're gonna get the friction rate, and if it passes, it's good. If it doesn't, we need to resize it. Okay, so we're going. So remember, I know I'm being a little bit redundant, but in this case, when we go here, in order to size ducts, we're going to take into account velocity, which is measured in FPMs, feet per minute. Okay. All right, so let's continue with this. So what we're gonna be doing now, as we said in the beginning, is we're gonna be sizing the return. Okay, so let's continue with this. So duct, see, if we unclick ducts, it's not showing anything. If we click ducts, it's showing something. Okay, so this is actually the system. Okay, so this system, we're gonna put this system where in the duct layout, in the house. So as you can see in the videos that we did in the beginning, what we had is this imported PDF already. So as you can see, this is the mechanical closet. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna put our system in the mechanical closet like that. Here we go. There you go. And now if I want to hide the mechanical closet or the imported PDF, I just uncheck that part. Okay, so now we know where my mechanical system is, my air handler unit or my furnace and coil. All right, so now let's focus on the returns. As you can see, we have the supplies which are in here, and usually the supply registers are placed on the perimeter, right? The perimeter, here we go. But we're going to be talking about that in the next video. But now I need to place the returns. Okay, so if I click on the system, it's going to show me, let's see in the system, nothing in here. There we go. So this is the return. Okay, so I'm going to place this. So this is the symbol for return, and this is the symbol for supply. So an X supply, and this diagonal is a return. Okay. Okay, so we're focusing again in the return. Where is my return going to be located? So this is pretty much going to be located in one place. So let's place it in the mechanical closet. So this is the mechanical closet, as you can see, but we're going to place this near the door. See, we can place it near the door right here, or even on the wall right here. Depends. It depends on the designer. So we're going to place this in the right at the door. Okay, so now what is this? So as of now, we're showing that this is going to be 14 by 14, and this is 1061 CFM. But now what we need to do is, I'm going to change this. What is this? Let's check. If you want to know what are the properties, what the properties are for this return, you have to click on the return, right click, and you're going to be able to see the property sheet. So in the property sheet, what we have is the sheet number 1. Type is regular, is not a transfer grill, it's a regular return grill. Okay, so now what we're going to have in here also is, see, the heating CFM and the cooling CFM. It's going to be the same, but now excuse me. Okay, so now what we have to see in here is also what kind of register is this? Is this a ceiling grill? It is not going to be a ceiling grill, especially if it's near the door or on the wall. So it could be a high or low wall. Let's put a low wall grill. So let's put on a low wall grill, enter, see? And now as you can see, you can rotate this. We're going to be able to rotate angle. It says 0. We can play with this. What if we put 90? Or what if we put 180? Or what if we put 270? There we go. We have the return grill, and we're gonna be able also to put the arrows. So it says default arrows. Let's change that for no, and then it's gonna give me the option to put an arrows right here. Airflow arrows we're gonna put in here. Let's put it that is going inside. See, you can always play with this. In the beginning, when I was starting, I got a very much confused by that. So let's put OK, and there we go. Now we know where the arrows are going. And now that we have that, you have grill type. Do you have a filter? Are you gonna have a filter in the return or not? So this is with filter, this is with no filter. We're not gonna have filter in this case. So grill type, there we go. No, reverse direction. No filter. There we go. It doesn't have a filter. Oh, free grill area percent 800, and free grill area this. Okay, there we go. So now we have this return, but now there's another point in here. Are you gonna have only one return for your whole duct layout, or you're gonna have 2 returns? Usually it's recommended to have another return for the owner's bedroom. Okay, so in other words, we're going to create another return for the owner's bedroom. So you can always see the duct layout right there. Okay, so in order to create the return, what we're gonna go is clicking here, see? It says return grill. There we go. So let's just draw one. And as you can see, it changed. The CFM is now 615, and for this is 548. Okay, but now this, what kind of return is this? Let's go check in here, right click. This is a ceiling grill return, which is correct. Okay, so now we're gonna close that. Now that we're gonna place this. For that, we're gonna enable the PDF. Okay, so we're gonna put it right here. How about that? There we go. So now what we have to do in here is we need to know which this return is working for which registers, associated with which registers. Okay, so this return is going to be working for this, and how about this too? I'm going to grab this supply and I'm going to put it right here. There we go. So in other words, this return is going to be working including this one. Okay, so let's say in here the return is going to be associated with which supply registers. In order to know that, you need to click on the return. If you click on the return, you see that this return is associated with 1, 2, 3, 4 registers. If you want to associate another supply register, what you do is you have to click on both. You see here? you want to associate this supply with this return. In order to do that, the return and this supply register have to be selected. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to select this supply diffuser or register, I mean. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click on the return. There we go. So the return and the supply are both selected, and now in order to associate this return with this supply, I'm going to hit on this icon that says link supply to return register. Okay, so I'm gonna click, and there we go. Now this return is associated with this supply register. So in other words, see, I'm gonna click in here, this is associated, and you're gonna be able to see the CFM is different, and then you have another CFM. So what about this register? So whenever you click in there, see, you see which supplies are associated with this. This should be associated with this return. This shouldn't be alone. Hold on. So we're going to click in here. That's wrong. See? No, it's not wrong, but this supply register is closer to here. So it's better if it's associated with this one. So what we're going to do is click this return, hold shift, and then select this. Now what we're going to be doing is linking these two, so that's going to be supplies registered link. There we go. Here we go. We have it now. So this is very well linked. See, linked. All right. So that's amazing and that's very good. But the sizes are not right. So this is going to be 14 by 14, 14 by 14. Okay, how do we size registers? I mean, return grills. How do we do it? Depends on the manufacturer. Okay, so since we have a lot of data available for Hart and Cooley, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be using that engineering data. So in other words, let's go there. See, I'm going to grab this. This is Hart and Cooley. So if we go to the top page, you're going to be able to download these from Google. So if you put in Google Hart and Cooley, you're going to be able to download their whole catalog. Okay, so in the catalog, what we have in here is you have floor registers, you have grills, you have baseboards, side walls. We have sidewall and ceiling registers and grills. So I'm gonna be using that, and I'm gonna be using the model. The model is A650, see? 650 or A650, a stamped steel aluminum return grill. Okay, so let's go to page number 19. So if you go page number 19, what do we have in here? This is how it looks. So in page number 19, there we go. This is page number 21, and this is page number 20, this is page number 19. So this is going to be my side wall grill or ceiling grill. See, you have these two options, this and this. We're going to be choosing this one, 659, and you have the option of putting or adding an air filter in here. Okay, you have that option, and if you don't want to, it's okay. You can put the air filter in the system. Okay, so now that we have this and we have the dimensions, see, we have the dimensions and everything, we're gonna go to the engineering data, because that's the one that we need to talk about. We need to use this engineering data. It's in page number 47, and again, this is not a sponsored video, but what matters is that to have the information available. So what I found out is that Hart and Cooley has a lot of information available for me to choose their grills. Okay, so now we're gonna go to page number 47. Let's go to page number 47. Where is it? Page number 47. And also, before doing that, Hart and Cooley indicates and suggests saying this. Okay, let's go. Whenever you're sizing a return, what is the first thing I said in the video? In the video, I said that we're going to be sizing based on velocity. The velocity is measured in feet per minute, FPM. So whenever you're sizing a return, which velocity should you be taking into account? In here it says that therefore the total CFM capacity must be equal or exceed. I don't know about that, but look at this. The phase velocity has to be between 400 and 600 FPM, okay? So do you remember, when we have 600 FPM, the issue is the noise. So no one wants to be hearing the return grill saying like that, a big noise. Sometimes it's annoying. So therefore, we're gonna take into account 400 FPM. So that's gonna give us low noise, okay? So let's do that. So we're gonna be choosing my air filter based, not air filter, my return grill based on 400 FPM if it doesn't have a filter, okay? But if it has a filter, look at this. It says ACCA recommends 300, okay? So in other words, what we're gonna be doing is 300 for filtered grills and 400 for non-filtered grills, okay? So in this case, what we're gonna be doing is choosing 400 FPM. Why? Because we don't have a filter, okay? So now for 400 filtered, okay, 400 FPM, we're gonna go here. Do you remember the page was like 49? So let's go to 49. This is 45. This is 49. Yes, there we go. No, it's not that one. So there we go up. There we go. So we have already in here the grill. So see, the model that we had was 659. So for 659, let's take into account the phase velocity. What's the phase velocity? 400 FPM. So someone is going to be asking me, why not 600? Of course, you don't want to make noise. Comfort is an issue. It's very important, okay? So 400 FPM. And why 400, not 300? Because 300, we're saying that is for filtered grill. We're not having a filter in the grill, so we're gonna be choosing 400. So for 400, what is my CFM? Do you remember? Let's go check. What is the CFM? There we go. So for this one, my CFM is 626. There we go, 626. And now for 400 FPM, 626, let's go check where is this 426, 600. Okay, here we go. That's the grill. See? Why? Okay, again, the way we select or size my return grills are based on velocity. The velocity or phase velocity is 400 FPM. Now, what is my CFM? My CFM based on Wrightsoft is 626. So we need to choose a return grill that is above 626 CFM. What is it? What is above 626 CFM? Let's go check again. Above 626 is this 767, because the one below says that 534, 453, so it goes low, right? So this is the one that we're going to be choosing, 400 CFM, and it's above 626, right? So the one that we're choosing is the 2020, okay? The 2020, and this is the model number, okay? So 2020 is going to be my return grill. So what we're going to be putting in here is, we're going to change the size. So go there, right click, and this is going to be 2020. Register actual width, that's going to be 2020. And this is going to be 2020. There we go. So now it changed. See, it's going to be bigger a little bit. So it's 2020 CFM. There you go. For the next one, we're going to have 448. So let's go check what do we have for 448. So at 448, again, 448. So we're going to go here. 480. So 480 is above 448. See, 480 at 400 FPM design. Okay, so what is the size? The size is 14 by 18. So that's what we're going to be putting for this. 14 by 18. Okay, 14 by 18. There we go. That's my return grill. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to connect this grill to the system. So what we're going to be doing for that is this. You go to the HVAC shape toolbox, and this is for supply duct, and this is going to be for return duct. So click on it, and then you have to join this. There we go. You have to connect those. So we have that. You just dismiss that. Okay, here we go. The system or Wrightsoft automatically will size it. Okay, so we have that, but let's check what's the size of that duct. This is a flex duct that is going in the attic. So right click, see, click that, right click, and as you can see, this is 700. See, velocity says 570. So what if you say automatic sizing no, and you change this to 10? So if you change that to 10, it says for a 10-inch duct you have 821. But wait a minute, it doesn't have to be like that. Number 1 is return, number 2 it's a trunk, and number 3 it's a flex. So for flexes you have a recommended of 600 fpm and a maximum of 700 fpm right there. 700 fpm. So recommended 600 fpm. So it's above. It's too much. So in other words, what we're going to be doing is the following. We need to choose 12 inches. It's going to be 570. What if we go for 14? So it's too low. It's too low. So the proper amount is 12 inches, 570. Okay, there we go. There we go. So finally, we can always connect this or not connect, because you don't need a ducting here, but depends on the situation, and depends on the case. All right, but now what does this gives us? If you go to the right D in here, you're going to be able to find now a length. See, the measured length right now is going to be 7 for the return, but the fittings is where you lose a lot of equivalent length. See, it's 60. It's a lot. So 70 is the total length, and then 60 is the equivalent length of the fittings. Fittings is where you lose a lot of length. In the next video, we're going to be checking, and we're going to be doing the supply side. Okay, but finally, let's go see what is the length of this. So you're going to be able to check the length right here even. See, if you go to notations, instead of that contains duct, you can put duct size and length. So if you see that, if you select that, it's going to tell you 6.8 feet. Okay, but we're not going to be doing that. So we're just going to put it as size. Okay, but what about the equivalent length? So now we know the length, but what about the fittings? The fittings are going to be here. Click on it and right click. And in there, you're going to be able to see the fitting type. It's a 6M based on manual D. And as you can see in here, equivalent length is 20. 20 is the equivalent length for that. That's not so much. Where am I losing a lot of length? Right here. Let's go check on the other side. You click on this, right click, and then this is a fitting type 5D based on manual D. Click on it. Oh, this is going to be 40 feet of equivalent length. See, that's what you're losing. So a lot of is lost in equivalent length in the fittings. Just take that into account. See, when you go here, see, I'm losing 60 feet in equivalent length fittings. Okay, there we go. You can see in here, you're losing here 20 and you're losing here 40. There we go. And the length itself is 7. It's not that much. Okay, so why is this showing low friction? Because we haven't done the supply side. We're going to be doing the supply side in the next video. See? Okay, so now we are done with the returns. In the next video, we're gonna be talking about the supply side. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave any comment or any question that you might have. It's a very good idea to leave any comment, so that way everyone participates. Okay, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.